Hi, my name is Jess and I'm the founder of Invincible Sparkle. We've gotten a lot of questions on the blog and on social media from viewers just like you who've had some questions about things that have happened at work. And so we thought it might be helpful to answer some of those questions on a video so that everybody can enjoy the answers. So I'm sitting here today with one of our coaches, Katie.
Hello, everyone.
And we're going to answer some of the questions that you guys have sent in. So we're going to start with this one from Kyle. He says, I recently had a performance review that surprised me in a bad way. Has that ever happened to you, and how do you handle that? So Kyle, I've definitely had that happen to me. It makes me think of the time when there was this job that I was really excited for. I remember seeing the posting and being so excited to talk to my boss about, hey, will you recommend me for this role? And I sat down with her, and I just remember seeing, she was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's great. Here's a laundry list of things that you're not doing or why you're not ready for that role. And it just was like a gut punch. Yeah. I was like, but I do all those things, but I am ready for this role. And one of my mentors had told me, you need to manage your manager. So in essence, my manager was seeing all the stuff that I wasn't doing, but I wasn't communicating with her when I was doing those things or when those projects got completed. I wasn't sharing those wins with her. Because your manager is really focused on, hey, there's something exploding over here. Yes. I need to focus all my attention here. There's a fire drill over here. They're not, if you're doing your job, they might not be as micro-focused on, oh, yeah, I see that you're completing these tasks or you're checking these boxes. So you need to bring that information to your manager in more of a creative way. It might be copying them on an email, but it also might be bringing it up in a touch base. So that when you get to that performance review or you get to that point where you're ready for that promotion, you don't get that different information than you were expecting. You have that conversation you were expecting from the get-go. Katie, have you ever had something like this happen?
Yes. So in the industries that I've worked in, it's been a little bit different. And by a little bit, I mean a lot different. I've not always even had performance reviews as part of the industry standard. So you continue to work. There's really no outline on when a promotion happens or how that happens. So we really, in my position, I've had to manage my manager and really take that advice of Jess's mentor. How I go about that is I really just keep a tally of the work that I've done and make sure that I'm sharing those wins with my employer during our check-ins. Then about probably once every year, once the 1 year mark comes, I schedule a separate appointment outside of our weekly check-in. That's, hey, I just want to let you know of everything I've really accomplished this year. The communication piece is really important. The documentation piece is really important. Everything that you document, I would just save and just keep one really long list, because that information you document, you'll also be able to take that then and apply that in your resumes and in your cover letter for future employment purposes that you apply for.
Great. Yeah, thank you. All right, so our next question is from Jen. She says, I feel like my peers who are similarly or even less qualified are getting promoted before me. How do I navigate that? So I think a big part of this is really the comparison trap, right? So you're looking around the room, you're looking at your peers and saying they got something that I didn't, or how are they better than I am? And I think it's important to know that your path is going to look different from other people's. You may have set a goal for yourself or a dream job that you're looking for, but at the end of the day, your way of getting there might not be the same as somebody else's way of getting there. They might have they might get promoted every 2 years and get to that next role, whereas you might have different experiences and different opportunities that will help you really manage well in that new role. So it's not always a bad thing to move at a different pace than your peers. It's all about what experiences you're bringing to the table, what experiences you're gaining through the process. And if those are quality experiences that will help you in your next role, that's more of what you need to be comparing against versus this person got a promotion before I did. That way your end result of your career will be a lot more successful. Yeah. What about you, Katie? Have you had that happen?
Yeah, so elaborating a little bit more on what Jess was saying, it's just at the end of the day, we think that our paths are linear. So we think that we have point A and we have point B, and you just go straight to point B. And that's just not the reality, and that's not how we live. Everyone's path, I would say, from between point A and point B, there are a lot of corners that you're going to get hit. You're going to have a lot of swirls in there before you really get to point B. And that path, it's rarely, if ever, the same for everyone. So typically, like how people get promoted, it's just going to look different. They're going to have different projects that they've completed. They're going to come with different backgrounds. So no one's ever going to have the same path. So really comparing yourself to someone, it's just going to hurt you. So really just thinking about yourself, what you bring, and working yourself to get to that next level is what's going to be much more important and powerful for you moving forward.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point too. Somebody else achieving something at a different rate than you doesn't mean that they are better than you. It just means it's different. So I think that's an important thing to keep in mind, Jen.
Absolutely.
All right, and then our third question is from Maddie. She says, I just started a new job. How do I make sure I'm successful? So I think that kind of really breaks down into 3 different buckets. It's managing your new manager, but to do that, you really have to have an observation period. So what's the culture like in that new role? What's your manager like? How do they like to receive and give information? And then how do your peers interact? So it's really taking some time to observe before you interact. So you can have some regular conversations at the water cooler, but I wouldn't really dig into kind of inserting into the culture until you've really observed what's going on there. And that'll help you be the most successful in navigating that space. All right. So those are our 3 questions for today. I hope that you've gotten something out of it. I hope it answers the questions of those readers who sent them in. If you would like to hear more, you'd like to dig more into these topics, we will have courses available on invinciblesparkle.com for you on expectations at work, and it digs into each of these topics and gives you some plans, some goal setting sheets that you can really use to move forward in your career. You can also email us at connect@invinciblesparkle.com, where we will connect you with a coach if you want one-on-one or group coaching. All right. Thank you guys so much and have a great day.
Thank you.